Hi, my name is Matt Cahow, and I wanted to do this video on focal dystonia, and I think it might help some people. For myself, I've had some experiences with this in my own playing, and I'm going to assume that if you're tuning into this video, you're aware of what focal dystonia is. Quick background on my experience. I started noticing a few years ago in my right hand, my plucking hand, that primarily my M finger, when I would pluck, the finger started to sort of stay in the palm. It didn't naturally want to come out. It sort of was like, I don't know, it would just sit inside the hand. I started to have to kind of push it out. So this, of course, affected my ability to play arpeggios, scales, alternate, all of that kind of stuff. And for me, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, it was probably maybe like a 4 at its worst, maybe a 5. My hands weren't like obliterated, but I definitely was noticing something. It was never painful. I would tell you that during this period, I was practicing a lot, but I would notice at the end of my practice sessions that my left hand would feel fatigued. It would feel normal, but my right hand would feel sort of like inebriated. It almost seemed like if my right hand somehow could go out and like have a few too many drinks at the end of the evening, it was like clumsy, right? It was drunk, okay? And so I knew something was going on. I fortunately had a teacher who had some experience with this in his own playing. And so I was aware that it might be something like this. And so I didn't obliterate my hands. I didn't just like practice and practice and practice and try to muscle through it. If you're in that boat, I'm not sure if this will help, this video will help you or not, but maybe it'll give you some ideas. There's a lot of little things going on with focal dystonia, and it can be emotional. It can be have to do with like the way the brain is sending signals to the fingers. It's a lot of stuff. I think in my case, some of it was mechanical, and let me get into this a little bit. I'm going to say something here that is a little bit, I guess, controversial, or people are maybe going to disagree with, and I might get flamed for it, but I'm going to put it out there. I think in my case, one of the reasons I was developing this issue is because I was doing a lot of preparation or planting in the right hand. Now, I assume you're aware of what this is, but classical guitar is typically taught in a way today where players are told you want to place your finger on the string before you pluck it, and you plant it or prepare it. That way you can't miss. So you put the finger down and then you play the note. It makes sense, but I am going to propose that one of my issues that I started having was doing a lot of planting over many, many hours and years of playing. Here's, as far as I can tell, what's going on. When I think of plucking, and roughly speaking, I'm closing my fingers, kind of like a fist. And when I do that slowly, it's no problem. But if I'm gonna close the fist or close the hand quickly, kind of like I would if I was plucking, there's actually this slight pulsing out that the fingers want to do, okay? And I'm going to propose that that's the way the fingers want to move. This slight movement out and coming in, it's like it's using momentum to hit the string. When you plant, you're actually eliminating that portion of the stroke, okay? Now, your hand will do it. It works. It's great. But I think for me, what happened over many years of planting and preparing, over time, the finger starts to kind of want to come in. Because I have been for, how many, I don't know, thousands and thousands of notes that you pluck. Are you preparing, planting, and then you're playing and you're cutting out that 5%, 3%, whatever it is of the stroke, that little pulse out. And so what I would suggest, if your story is somewhat similar to mine, I would suggest that you try to reconceptualize how you pluck the string, okay? And so instead of placing the finger on the string in arpeggios or scales, it doesn't matter, but instead of placing the finger on the string, think of really swinging and striking into the string, okay? And just try that, and think of maybe instead of you being relaxed sitting on the string and then plucking the string, and moving from a point of relaxation into a point of tension, relative tension, think of doing the opposite. Think of all of your energy starting at the beginning of the stroke and you're striking the string. and see if that starts to help your hand. I think if you play around with this for a very short period of time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, if this is a similar problem that you're having, some problem that I'm having or I was having, try this. I think it can be very useful, and that's it. So consider preparation, planting. You're cutting the stroke slightly short every time you do that, and over time, this maybe can cause your hand to develop some issues. So that's it. I really hope that's helpful. If you think this can help somebody else, a friend or a colleague, please share the video. I don't really care if it gets out there around the world, but I think this could really be useful for some people. So good luck. I hope it helps.